Donald Trump announced he expects to be arrested on Tuesday. Keep in mind, we're recording this on a Monday, so a lot of stuff can happen between now and when the show goes out on Thursday. For example, a giant asteroid could come hurtling through space, strike Earth at a heavily populated area, and completely wipe out all of humanity as we know it. Or something bad could happen. Dan Bongino said that if Trump gets indicted, then that would make him a martyr. I really wish he wouldn't get my hopes up, as I'm waiting for Trump's death in order to make that happen. It's a relief that we're relying on state jurisdictions to make a decision about Donald Trump's arrest and indictment. I wouldn't want to wait on a decision on federal crimes from the Justice Department. You see, I heard that if Attorney General Merrick Garland pulls his head out of his ass and sees his shadow, then we have 6 more weeks of Donald Trump wandering around free from any accountability. So, do you guys think I'm being a little too optimistic here in my summing up?
No, I think you are being too optimistic. I don't think you realize who you're talking about. And I think most politicians and celebrities don't realize that they're not Donald Trump because they try to do Trump-like things and then they get caught or they get canceled or they lose something and they're like, but that guy did it. Yeah, you're not Donald Trump. And this one is the weakest of all the cases. So, nobody really cares that, I mean, yes, it's a misdemeanor. Yes, it's illegal, but we're not really a law and order country, especially the guy who screams law and order all the time. So, if you're of the left mind like you are, you think this is awesome. If you're of the right mind, you think this is a witch hunt. If you're like me, go, just another day in the office.
But what happened here is this is, as Davin said, a charge that they could have brought years ago. And they're taking so much time on this that they may never get around to the bigger charges, the substantive charges. They're being so careful not to seem political because they want to avoid any appearance of impropriety. They don't want to be political. Do they do it before the midterms? Do they do it after the midterms? Do they do it before he announces, or do they wait till after? Do they do it on months with a Y in it? Do they do it before daylight savings time? They're being so careful. And look what happened today. This is Monday. All the Republicans did was say it was a political witch hunt. Did any of them say that the substance was wrong? No. It was all, they could have done this years ago and not worried about the political aspects of it.
But Jeff, they couldn't have done it. They couldn't have done it years ago because they have that official rule where you can't go after a sitting president.
You're right. 2021.
They're not going to do that though. And this district attorney didn't originally want to do this case. Like a year ago, he said, "No, I'll pass," and now he's back for another bite.
I didn't think, Davin and Jeff, that it was, I know politics plays into everything, but I actually thought they were taking their time to make sure it stuck, because if you mess it up, right, then you can't go after them again on that one issue or whatever.
That is their story, Gina. Right. I actually don't think here's why I don't think this is political, because if it was political, this would not be the one they are leading with. The Georgia case seems much more of a slam dunk where you have the phone call. This is the weakest of the cases. Yeah. The thing that the least people care about. Most Americans go, yeah, you know what? I got a girl on the side. I got a guy on the side. I'd pay them to shut the heck up too. That's how most people think. So they don't forget about all the political things involved with it. Most people are like, this is no big deal. So that's why I don't think it's political.
Davin, I want to clarify. You're not saying it's a weak case that District Attorney Bragg has a weak case. You're saying it's the least important one.
Well, yes, and they are also saying that there are some issues here where it might not stick. I don't know. I haven't seen everything. You haven't seen everything. But by all accounts, between the documents, the classified documents, the Georgia January 6th, and this comes in fourth as far as strongest, can convict him, whatever.
But my point is they could have done any of these in any order, and I think they're being overly careful here.
Tom was talking about that in his monologue. I mean, clearly he's not happy with Merrick Garland. And defenders of Merrick Garland would say, well, you have to get it just so. Otherwise, listen, I don't know. None of us really know. Listen, people on the left, they want Trump gone. And trust me, I get that. People on the right, they're going to make all the excuses in the world for it. Either way, it's not good for our country, what's going on. Because we're not a law and order country. Because if we were a law and order country, we would all say, well, if he did something, he should pay the penalty. And if he didn't do something, then this is wrong. That's really the answer.
Right. I mean, this is a big distraction. At least that's what I have seen from him. This is his game. This is what it is. And really, I think that there's something else that's going on behind the scenes. I agree with Davin. This is nothing. This whole Stormy Daniels things, it's a misdemeanor. Something else has to be going on behind the scenes that the public doesn't know about.
I agree with Polite Kitty for agreeing with me.
But I do think he's going to go down. I said it a long time ago. I've been saying it, and everybody's like, "Oh, but Trump, he always gets himself out of things." I feel it in my gut. Everybody was concerned that he was going to run again. I was like, I don't care. He's not. It won't happen. It's not going to happen. Either he's going to have a heart attack from the stress of all of this, or, which I know Tom would like, or it's just not going to happen. I think there is enough to make him go away, but it's just going to obviously take a little bit.